Okay, I am outside the home on 2105 East Fardown Ave, and I just want to do a review of repairs and just speak openly to what's been done and maybe what hasn't been done or what needs to be done. I'll accept feedback for you. First things, by the way, it is February 24th, 2026. Okay, so the first thing that I see out here is that, according to the city engineer, they did say that we need one more tree planted out here, and it just needs to be 10 feet away from the asphalt. So, we can choose where to put the tree, but that can be your guys' decision. But they just need one tree planted. Pretty simple there. See, outside here, I don't think that we had any fixes on our list, but we'll go inside. There are cleaners here, by the way, and this will be a little bit a long video, so we can make sure we get it all. But I did want to go in the entryway here to start, and we totally painted and patched this wall. That was due to the stagers who had hung a mirror here, and they kind of scuffed it up. So we just redid the whole thing and painted that. Up here, you see, is one of the 3 vents that you wanted replaced. I'll zoom in. It is no longer that white plate that you saw on there. And it has significantly reduced the sound in the whistle. So that's a great add there. There is the same thing there. And all 3 of these were also painted to match the wall color as you requested. So just want to make sure that you do see all 3 of those. Back over here, by the way, this is the smoke detector that was installed as well. It is connected to the whole system and has been tested by the inspector to be sure of that. Let's see, let's go in the laundry room here. Just want to make sure that I show you that all the cabinets, hardware, and drawer pulls have been installed. Same thing over here. The inspector did call this up behind the laundry. Here was another GFCI, and he just wanted that canceled, which totally made sense because if that one tripped, there was really no way to get to it. So we don't need a double GFCI because there is a GFCI here. So we pulled this out and just put a plate over that and canceled it. But I hope you can see also that all the drawers and the cabinets have been adjusted, and that's throughout the whole home. I'll try to go slow with the video so you can see that, but that is the whole home has been adjusted, so everything shuts nice and evenly. So let's go inside the twin rooms here. This one just had, a few patch and paint requests. All of that has been taken care of. The walls are smooth. Again, we have the cabinet pulls here. We did add some door stops as well. You didn't request that, but I thought that they're necessary. Here's the door here. Pocket door. I just want to show, let's see, that they do slide. We also added a door stop. So a little heavy, a little bit of resistance on the track, but nothing that's overwhelming. Just slide back. This is something else in this bathroom. We just made sure that all of these were tight, fastened. So this one here drawers. And this one, again, they've all been adjusted. I think this is the one that was really in question there. So that has been adjusted. Same thing here. Okay. This is kept as is. Let's see what else. Oh, the hatch. Let's see if I can pull this off. I'll set down the phone real quick. I'll show you here. Okay. So, okay, starting over here. Just want to show that there was insulated hatch added here. So you get that out by pulling out the screws there. So it is installed it's secured pretty well there. If you wanted to access through this space, you just have to back out the screws. Okay, so that's where we're at there. Another one here. Again, we put door stop. This one slides much easier than the other one, so it's a much lighter pull. Not sure why that is, but definitely felt it here. Oh, you know what? I just saw that this one was missed. It still has the blue tape up there, so we're gonna have to paint that little spot. But it was patched. Just looks like they missed painting it, so I want to make sure that that's pointed out. And then I don't remember if we had this or not, but yeah, we did actually. The line here, the caulking, I think they just went through and made sure that that was nice and clean. Again, in this room, we have just lots of patch and painting. Not lots, but there are a few spots. But again, walls look very smooth. Everything looks good. Cabinet pulls are on. We added that little door stopper again. So, okay. So vacuums are going. It sounds like I'm going to go the opposite direction. So we have, let's go to the west suite first. Okay, so again in here we had, just kind of some patch and paint spots. I think that the walls are looking pretty smooth. I don't see anything. By the way, all the sconces in the home have been tightened. So I know that there was a few that just weren't installed to a tightness that that is sufficient. So we have made sure to get all those taken care of. And I'll start a new video here. Okay, back in here, I want to show you the closet space. All the drawer handles were installed. Again, we have door stops and the walls are smooth. And then let's go into the bathroom space here. Cabinets and drawers adjusted. We have the glass in here, the barrier here. And then, if I remember right, we had to clean up the top portion. There's some just grout that needed cleaned up, so we got that all along the top there. So, let's see what else. There was this piece was chipped, so we got that repaired. Some more chipped tile there. And then on the floor as well, I do remember that there was a tile that had been lightly we chipped, and we took that out and repaired it as well. Okay, let's see. Let's go out. It's gonna be vacuums going again. Okay, up the stairs here. There is, oh, this part here, they did their best on this, you know, put in some wood filler and sanded it down as best they could. You know, didn't have a whole nother exact piece to go in and just cut a new one and reinstall. So I think, you know, they said they did their very best with it. Still a bit rough around the edges, if I'm being honest there, but that they worked on it for a while and just said this is about as good as it's gonna get with that. Again, this is just kind of dings. There was a little transition space here that you didn't like. That was smoothed out. It's coming in pretty clear on camera, but if I zoom out, it really blends nicely. So they just filled that and sanded it and then painted over it. So it's really not visible from this part. Okay, so in the closets, we did add lights that are wired. There's also some lights that are in there that are just like rechargeable motion lights. So if someone's crawling in there, the light's gonna be on no matter what. Same thing over here. Again, we have wired and motion lights. So, oh, the transition here, just re-secured that carpet that was kind of coming up there. In here, obviously cabinet pulls and drawers have all been adjusted. Pulls have been installed. This was, I think, on your guys' inspection report. Just make sure that shuts. And it does. And of course, we did put on all the stoppers. Let's see, the bathroom here. Took that off. Make sure that the drywall is pinched all the way around it. Of course, these have all been secured. So drywall looks good there. We didn't do anything in here except for put another door stop there for you. I don't remember if there was anything as far as caulking here, but it does look really good there. So, let's see, in this room, oh, this light, the same thing, took that off, brought the drywall in so that there's no holes peeking through. So now it sits nice and flush. Same thing over here. There you go. We did install light switch here that now operates the light inside this closet. There it is, and of course there are the motion lights as well. Okay, let me downstairs. All the windows and doors, by the way, that was on the inspector's list, and those were confirmed to be tempered glass. So he just needed to see the plans to make that happen, and because we didn't put the stickers on them when they were ordered, so he just needed to see the plans directly from the distributor, and that got that checked off. I should also mention in here, and then all the doors in the house, including that front entryway, you know, there's no gapping anymore. So weather stripping has been installed on the bottoms of all of them. So let me just make sure that you see that. There we go. Outside, this was a code thing, and it was also in your inspection report that these stones just had to be moved to the operating door, so you have a step walk out. The inspector said, obviously, he figures that you'll probably want to move them back. We had them originally centered on the door, which visually looks best, but the inspector wanted them pushed to the side here. So, let's see. I've been in here. Let me show you this entryway door just so you can see that as well. Weather stripping along the whole bottom side. Okay. Office. Again, there was just some little touch-ups, dings in the walls, things like that. It goes over here, so those areas have been touched up. We did install a wall plate here. This is, I guess, where some internet wiring is being stored for the room. So that's where you can access that. I think everything in here was self-explanatory. I'm good there. Okay, so now we walk up to the east wing of the home. Let's see. Start here. Again, the sliding door was kind of sticking. I will say it's not has a little bit of weight to it. But they worked on it, and so it's kind of as good as it's going to get there. They did put a stopper on it. And that's all that we had in this room. No drawers or anything that we had to adjust. Okay, into the great hall here. All these sconces in the whole space, they used to kind of spin around. They've all been tightened. Here, there is the flooring issue. So there's kind of a squeak that was happening. I want to, that was not addressed, and that was basically because everybody that looked at it said that the house is kind of breathing and things are kind of moving with the planks, and they didn't want to fasten it down because, once it gets to be warmer weather, that it could actually cause a bigger issue, so they didn't want to be liable for that. Same thing with a little bit of the floor gapping here. Just none of the flooring items were addressed. They seem to think that the gapping that was happening here was actually being caused because outside here the hatch was allowing cold air to come in and then go through the crawl space right through here, and it was causing these ones to move a little bit more than they should. But now that we've addressed the exterior hatch and insulated it and insulated the whole basement, the hope was that is going to resolve itself, and then again, come warmer weather, these are all going to go nice, and they're going to play well with each other again, and they're going to go back to where they should. So we didn't want to, or the guys said that they didn't want to put a bunch of screws in here and then make them static so that they couldn't move back into place come warmer weather. Okay, so this outlet was called out by the inspector because I guess it was tied over here to the GFCI, and they didn't want that tied. So because this doesn't have any water in it, they just said cancel this one, replace it with a regular receptacle, and then now you have the GFCI out here. Inspector's call. And again, all the doors have the weather stripping at the bottom. I think this receptacle had a little bit of patch and paint needed around it. And all these are all nice and tight. All the stones out there, again, are pushed. These ones didn't have to be because we have it stretched across the way. Again, these are all going to be nice and tight. Okay, the cabinet hardware is all on and adjusted. And then cabinets have been, any place that there has a little bit of scratching. Looks like these ones might need to have a little bit more help. But, anything that is a showing scrape should really, most of them have been addressed. So, I think this one was called out in your video. A lot of that was actually the wrap that was still on it. We just had to scrape that off of it. Okay, so upstairs into the loft area, this railing has been dropped to meet code. Of course, the inspector came up there and he measured it the whole way, and that passed. The original spots where it was sat high on the wall have been patched and painted, so that's looking good. Let's see. Oh, before I go up there, this is just a little fix that the inspector required as well. I can't remember what that's called because I am not a contractor, but he needed that lifted so it's 4 inches away from the drain. Let's see. I think this was called out on your inspection report that was loose, so that has been secured. Okay, so up here, when the guy did come and cut it to meet code, I will say that, he did it, but this does not meet the same finish here. So this definitely seems like, very much powder coated. This doesn't, it just seems like he kind of, whatever he cut and scraped, it was not re-powder coated or re-blasted, so it could be smooth. So it's a little rough. Also, this cut was done a little sloppy, in my opinion. It has a overhang instead of just a mitered cut that, he should have done. It did pass inspection. It'll be up to you guys what you think of that. But I did definitely want to point that out. Okay, coming up here at the top of the stairs here, we have, this was like a little notch out. If you remember, it was just a missing piece. So we brought that up so it's nice and flush. And then this piece of carpet was coming up. So now that's been secured. Up in this space here, I think there's a whole lot. Oh, we added a outlet per code on the pony wall, and we cleaned up this area here along the top. That was kind of sloppy caulking job. And this back trim area had just kind of a little gap in it, and so that has all been filled. So looks nice and flush with the carpet. And that's everything up here. I don't think there was anything else down here that I remember. I think we're done with the Great Hall. Let's go into the master here. Again, sconce lights just throughout have all been tightened. Can't remember if there's really any dings in here, but if there were, they've all been cleaned up. Walls look nice and flat. Door here, weather stripping has been installed. And you see that stone had to be moved over to the operating door. So that was there, just like all the others. Inside the closet, let's look in here. Again, all of the hardware pieces have been installed. And I think that was it in here as well. So that's looking good. In the bathroom, there was like a glop of something on the floor here, so that was scraped up, taken care of. Let's see, shower glass has been installed, Euro glass. That's nice. Goes both ways there. And the shower glass, I should say, on the other one too, was done by Sugar House Glass. They did a good job. Okay, so in here, this was on your inspection report. So we went ahead and did that as well, but all the nozzles and everything in here was tightened up. So that should work really good, and it's installed the way it should have been. Of course, we have secured towel hooks, and then this whole area here is scraped out and redone, caulked properly. I have a towel hook there. Weather stripping on the outside here, and then again that stone outside of there was moved. So everything's secure. Hardware has been installed, and drawers and doors have been adjusted. Let's see. I think it might be the whole house. Of course, go outside. What's there. By the way, the heat is on and blowing. And so it's basically a whisper now instead of a whistle that it used to be. So looking good. Again, let me take you outside. I know that we had blue tape on this exterior light. You can see that that one is shining, so we just ordered a brand new light for that. That one was just faulty. So that is no longer flickering. Working great. What do I need to show out here? Oh, the balusters on this side. Make sure that you see that those were installed. Again, this is a code thing. But those protect the electrical panel. So you see those. There's nothing in the garage. And remember, this is the Western red cedar. I can't remember what's on the garage. It's a different wood there. And then the roof, you guys brought up in the inspection report that it was painted. I did reach out to the contractor, and he did send me the exact paint that they used. So I can relay that to you guys as well. But he did say that it's a paint that, does extend the life of the shingle. So hopefully that helps. Okay, let's see. I know out here they, this is a inspector thing, but he just made us secure this outlet. So now it doesn't, it just wasn't tightened. Cap that vent, and I think that's it. But I'm gonna go down here and show you. Okay, so now we have, I think it's 2-inch insulation that has been put on here and then built out. So it sets in there real nice and really should be pretty airtight. Looks like the lid lifts up a little bit on this side. So maybe that insulation might need to be shaved down, but with the wood there, again, I'm not a contractor, but hopefully it really helps. We have this little lock inside the arm. We took that arm off and put a lock up in here instead so it really holds. And down in the basement, insulation was installed in all the floor joists, backing up and over the HVAC, all up in the nook and crannies here. So they did a good job as far as I can tell with that. Straps, upper third, lower third, and then strapped the expansion tank. Any gaps that we saw up here, like here, you know, it's just expanding foam that they put in there, so that becomes hopefully watertight, airtight. All the way through here as well. Anything that was back behind that insulation was sealed up, and then here as well, those gaps were sealed up. And then back through here, I know you can't see this, but you know, this is the vapor barrier that was laid. You know, I haven't crawled in there or anything, but it was laid throughout the whole crawl space. Inspector did, and he signed off on that. There's not insulation in the floor joists under here, but he said this is what he needed, was the floor joists of the basement. Again, that was to prevent the air that's getting in and traveling through the home. So he thought this was the culprit, and this is what he called out. There is obviously this came up in your inspection report as well. That's why I think a lot of these along the wall was sealed up as best we could, but you get the effervescence coming down here. Also in this inspection report, you saw that it was, you know, due to some grading. So, you know, that might be, we didn't do anything with the grading, but you can see it. So I think he was right. It's going to come along this wall. So that might be something that I would personally recommend, that you bring in a crew out here and you kind of build this up and dig it away from the home, just to prevent any more of that moisture coming in. Oh, also, part of that as well, all this cement surround was waterproofed as well underneath of here, to prevent it leaking down and underneath the stairs there. So again, hopefully that helps. I think that I've went through absolutely everything I possibly can. At least this is all from memory. I wasn't using a guide or anything, but you know, just for future reference, I wanted to take this and make sure that it was documented. And I tried to be as thorough as I possibly could here for you. Obviously, if there's any questions, let me know. Oh, I should say that they did adjust a lot of these doors, front and back and everything, just so that they swung open properly, closed properly, that there's no issues there. So I know that they took some time and made sure that they were all leveled and working order as they were meant to be. So, okay, that's all. Let's see. I think that's all I got. Oh, the neighbor over here, I should say, he came over at one point and said that his little side yard over here was kind of backing up, and that's because a culvert from the mountains drains down and trickles through here. As far as I've been told, it's just a trickle. But so they came back here and just opened this portion up here, and it's doing its thing now. So it just had looks like some dirt had been covered up by the landscapers, and so they poked a hole and moved the rocks or whatever they needed to do. All the debris that was causing the blockage has now been resolved. That was just a little extra on the day. He came over and told us about that, and that's all I can think of. The I think the garage is pretty much cleaned out. I still have some stuff in there that I'm gonna grab. I can do that, most of that tomorrow. Yeah, I just have some camping chairs in here. This pool table, I think we're probably gonna junk that. So there's extra flooring, extra carpet, a little bit extra tile. Those are my coolers that I'll take out of there. There's an old hatch that was used on the side of the house, but I guess we'll keep that there. I'll clear out all of this stuff, and this will be clean. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks, guys. Sorry for the long video.